how does one go about understanding a client to such a grassroots level that you can write like the client, like you can create content which looks like the client, but it's not the client doing it?
One thing is you obviously speak to them. And I think for myself and for my team, we are very good at catching those certain phrases, understanding how they speak, how they talk. Also, what is their body language on Zoom call? I think that also gives like, okay, what are they more interested in? What are they more excited about? And what are they, so we grasp on all of that, and that's what we use first thing. Second thing is we go through all of their old content. What have they written? What could we do better?
That is a gold mine of information, right?
Yes. The third thing, and this is something I was thinking about recently, is at this stage, I'm working with clients that I totally align with. We have the same approach towards business, same mindset, same goals, big vision. We have commitment, we are focused, we are hardworking, we get things done.
Right.
There are certain traits which are very similar in such people. So I think that also helps because I know how they think.
So you have big goals, they have big goals, but imagine I'm a client. I'm meeting you for the first time. How do you understand my goals? You ask them directly, like, what are your goals? And like, based on their answers is when you actually evaluate, you get a good grasp of the client, or it's later on once you start working, then they open up a bit more about their company, about themselves.
I speak to you for 5 minutes based on how you speak. I think for me, it's mostly about substance. Do you have substance?
Okay, we have been speaking for 5 minutes. Tell me.
I know you. Come on, now I know you a little bit. So that's different.
Okay.
If you remember, even when we met at the Billion Summit, I told you were one of the few people that I actually had a long conversation with. And if you remember, you also asked me, Shreya, how do you decide who to speak to in a room full of people? Would you just go up to people with suits because they have money?
Absolutely.
And I said,
it's not necessary.
It's not necessary because a lot of people are starting out, but they're wearing suits. And I don't really dress formal because I don't think it matches my personality. Basically,
I just want to give some context for the viewers before we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So me and Shreya were at an event, and I had just started my company at that time. And I was looking to land clients at something called the 1 Billion Summit, or was it the NAS Summit? I think it was the NAS Summit. So there were about 1,000 people who were attending the event. And the ticket price for attending that event was $300. Not everyone pays $300 or 1,000 dirhams to attend an event. So if you're trying to find clients who can have 1,000 dirhams to pay for an event, I think you could. That was my thought process. Okay, I can find them. Even among those, I had to filter out who are the ones who can actually pay me money. Okay. And one way I thought, okay, who are the clients who are best dressed, who are wearing suits, who are this. And that was the approach. But then you and me had a conversation. I told you, Shreya, who do you think would be? And then you told me Neet.
I told you, Neet, you're wearing a suit.
Yeah, I was wearing a suit. That was the irony.
You were wearing a suit and you were telling me about starting a business, by the way, which is doing very well. Now I'm really happy for you.
Thank you so much.
And this is what I mean, right? I knew that you will make it happen because when I met you, the way you were talking about it, within 5 minutes, I knew that this is somebody that I would like to associate with.
Amazing.
So I think it's that energy and all of that. And the thing you said about, people showing up to the event, it's not only the ticket. You have to also think that who are the people who will show up at the event? If the event is, let's say, 8 hours long, is it worth their time to exchange 8 hours of their day for $300? Do you think so? Even better question to ask when you're considering how many people would pay $300 in exchange for their time. I think that also tells you a lot about the quality of people that you can meet, basically.
Absolutely.
And I was there. I wanted to meet some people. I met you. And that was nice. So that's it.
I want to say something fun about this event, right? I got some leads. I went around asking everyone, hey, do you want to start a podcast? Hey, do you want to start a podcast? Okay, I went around and I found some people, okay, who said, but later I found out that they didn't have the budgets or they're just showing inquiry. But I came across some faces, especially one face whose podcast you were recently on. Indian woman in Dubai, Reema Mahajan. She was there at that event.
Wow, okay.
So she was there at that same event. She saw me, I saw her, but we never spoke. We have a Pan-IM group over here. I put it out over there, hey, I'm starting a podcasting company. Put the message out there and then she replied back. Even then I didn't recognize her. But then I went through her LinkedIn profile. I was like, holy shit. I actually saw her at the event. And then she turned out to be the second guy. So in a way, I don't know if it was fate or what, but maybe being in that event did help.
It's great. I mean, I even keep thinking back about the event because a lot of funny things happen, Obviously, the event was ongoing. You were constantly attending a workshop or a panel or something. And then even when it was break time, you were still talking to people. So I remember it was a 2-day event, obviously. And I remember that I wanted to go to the washroom. And every time I was trying to head in that direction, which was a bit of a walk, somebody was stopping me. And then because of that person, I would see someone on the side that I'm like, I know you from like YouTube or whatever. Right. And I'm like, I'm going up and talking to them. And then because of that, I'm just standing there. And then if that person hadn't stopped me, I wouldn't have had all those interactions.
Wow.
You're always going to miss out on something, that's true. But I think wherever you are, it's also going to work out in some way. I met very few people during that event, but I had like hour-long conversations with them. It was like, I got to learn a lot.